guys, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. So in this video, we'll be checking out the Redmi Note 8 Pro that I got here. And I've been using this device for the past 1.5 days right now, and I think it's about time to give my initial impressions, or what I would say a review on this device. So as you can see here, this is the Redmi Note 8 Pro, and the more I look at it, the more I actually like it, guys. So I got this device here in China for about $200 and what this gives me is 6GB of RAM with 64GB of internal memory. So 64GB of internal memory surely sounds very little, but you can expand it via micro SD. And yeah, this is what you get for $200 these days. It's a really good looking phone, I would say. I started off not really liking it because of the back, which captures a lot of fingerprints, but as I use it over time, I find myself really liking it. So let's go over the design really quickly. We have this nice glass back. So if you notice, the Redmi Note 8 Pro actually comes in 3 different colors, but today I have 2 colors here with me. On my left is the pearl white, and on my right we have this emerald kind of green here. So I think both these devices actually look pretty good in this color combination. But what do you guys think? Do you guys prefer the pearl white or the emerald green? So if you look at let's take a quick look at the pearl white version. You'll notice that it is a bit subtle. It is not so reflective of light, and if you move it from side to side, you just see this little hue of orange kind of color right here. And personally, I think this looks a bit more premium than the green. The green here looks a bit more flashy, but a lot of you guys have said that you really like the green version, so we'll be taking a look at this later on in the video. But yeah, just to put these two devices side by side so you can actually see which color you actually prefer when you make that purchase. On the back here, we have the fingerprint scanner, which is the traditional one. It is super fast, but if you guys are used to like an in-display fingerprint scanner, then you may have to get used back to the old way of unlocking your device. But to be honest, it's really good, it's really fast, and yeah, I have no issues with it whatsoever. So on the front here, we have a notch at the top. It is a teardrop notch. Let me try and bring it up for you guys so you can see it. So I've set up my device actually to be like fully all blacked out so that I don't see the notch at all. But if you want to see it, it is right there. So it's a very tiny one, no big deal. So let me just talk about this device. This is running the G90T, as you guys probably already know. The processor seems to be running pretty well. But before that, let me just talk a bit about the display right here. So this is an LCD panel, and it is quite a big one actually. It has very small bezels actually. So let me just show you guys once more. The bezels are really minimal. You have a small chin at the bottom as well. No big deal. Like I say, if you really style your device like me, so I've got everything in black right here, and I've got this really cool theme from the Xiaomi store. So if any one of you are interested in getting this kind of themes, just go to the themes app and you can download this kind of themes. So my theme here is actually all live. It's actually moving. You can see the clock moving right there. I have my date, my weather. Yeah, anyways, the LCD display is pretty good. It's not the best. I mean, when you head outdoors and if you're under like a lot of sun, you might find it a bit difficult to see the screen clearly because it is very reflective. But otherwise, if you're indoors most of the time and you're just using it for basic use, it should definitely do the job pretty well. So I have had no issues with the LCD display. It gets pretty bright. I usually set my brightness levels to maximum, but that's just me. Anyways, LCD screen, I will give it a thumbs up. So moving on, let me just talk about the performance that I'm getting here. So far, everything has been really smooth. Launching apps has been very quick. Let me just show you guys really quick right here. So let me just go into my Chrome. It's loading right now. My internet speed is not that fast. So if you just go into the camera, as you can see, we got that there and got a picture. So if you just jump into the calendar, the weather, and maybe the clock. So as you can see here, I have a lot of apps actually open up right now, and only 1.8GB of RAM is remaining, but everything is really smooth, as you can see here. I'm really happy with the performance that I'm getting on the G90T. So let me just get back out there and show you guys the gallery really quick. I have a lot of photos here, and it usually takes a while if your processor is not that good, but so far, as you can see here, everything runs really smoothly. So performance wise, I also did some gaming, of course. I played the Chinese version of Mobile Legends. Sorry guys, I don't really play PUBG anymore because to me that game, I'm not too good at that game. So I'm just playing the Mobile Legend equivalent game here in China. And I actually set the gaming settings to maximum. Everything is maximum, and it actually runs really smoothly, guys. It will definitely be able to handle games really well. So you guys don't have to worry too much about that. Another thing is that during gaming, the phone doesn't really heat up to the point where it gets uncomfortable. To me, I feel that the device gets a little warm, but it is perfectly fine. It's not super hot or anything like that. So performance-wise, again, definitely giving this a thumbs up. So moving on, let me just talk a little bit about the cameras on the back. So we have so many cameras here. We have a 64 megapixel main sensor, the main one up there, and we have the normal camera, the wide angle camera, as well as a macro sensor. But anyways, the main highlight here that Redmi is actually talking about the most is the 64 megapixel camera. So anyways, let me not talk too much about the megapixel count because I'm not really a fan of all these kind of numbers. I'm really into like the real world performance of how this camera actually performs. And to sum it up really quickly, guys, so daylight photos are really excellent. You get a lot of detail and the colors are really nice. So daylight photos, whether or not you use the 64 megapixel option, the photos will turn out really good. As you can see here, so I can actually zoom in a lot, and you can notice that I have everything, the details of the building is really clear. So let me just show you guys another photo. Let me show you guys this one because I actually did this in the 64 megapixel mode. So I can double tap the zoom in and go once more, and I actually spot this little guy right here, guys. You didn't notice that was there, right? So look at the photo once again, and let's zoom in all the way. Alright, so like I said, the 64 megapixel is only really good if you're going to do a lot of zooming like this. But otherwise, if you're just taking a normal daily shots, the standard sensor is perfectly fine. Pictures turn out really nicely. It's a bit saturated for my liking, but I think that's still okay to me. So the standard camera is good. The wide angle camera is also pretty great in the day. And moving on to the macro camera, it also does the job pretty well. You have this slight bokeh at the sides. And yeah, like I said, everything is perfectly fine when it is in the day. However, guys, when you move on to shooting in the night, I find that a few photos turn out pretty noisy. Let's say if you have a lot of lighting in your image, your night image, you'll notice there are a lot of noise in the skies. One more thing I did notice about the night camera is that phases turn out a bit washed out, so they're a bit blur for the phases. And yeah, the night camera is just a mixed bag. Sometimes it turns out pretty good, but most of the times it is not that good. So moving on, if you use the wide angle camera in the night, it is even worse. Everything is just very blur and there is just a lot of noise everywhere. But yeah, so overall, to sum it up really quickly, the camera works really good in the day, but when it comes to nightfall, don't expect it to perform as good as it does in the day. But anyways, let me just show you guys a quick clip of all the images I took here so that you guys have a slight idea of what to expect when you get the Redmi Note 8 Pro. Alright guys, this is a video test, 1080p at 60 FPS. So let me just try and do a little bit of walking right now. So I'm not sure how good the stabilization is, but I have already turned on image stabilization, so let's see how this works later on. Sun is pretty strong today. The skies actually look way more bluer, saturated than it actually is. But yeah. Alright, let me try to walk quicker and see how the stabilization works out. So as you can see, I'm trying to walk faster, heading that way. Alright, that's it for the 1080p at 60 FPS video test on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. Alright guys, so now that you've seen the gallery of photos that I've took, let me just talk a bit about the battery life that I'm getting on this device. So the battery is said to contain 4500 milliamp hours in this battery right here, but I was able to get about 6 to 7 hours of screen on time. And bear in mind that I do a lot of social media as well as camera photo taking, so your usage may actually vary depending on how you use your device, but 6 to 7 hours is actually a pretty good result. Anyways, last but not least, I want to talk about the speakers at the bottom. It's a single firing speaker. It's not the loudest, but trust me, it is actually pretty good for the price, and at 200 bucks you really can't complain about this speaker. The good thing is that the headphone jack is still here on the Redmi Note 8 Pro, so if you guys hate the speaker, you can always put in your pair of earphones. But yeah, speaker wise, I would say it's pretty decent as well. So overall, I really like this device guys. The Redmi Note 8 Pro seems like a pretty good phone to buy for just 200 bucks. And like I said, you can expand the memory here if 64 gigabytes is not enough. If you're taking a lot of the 64 megapixel images, bear in mind that every single shot takes about 20 to 21 megabytes. So 64 gigabytes of internal storage will definitely run out really quickly. Oh, before I end, one thing I need to note is that the video mode on this device is also pretty okay. There is not much stabilization going on, but yeah, overall I find this device a very good budget device. If you're looking for something about 200 bucks, this device should definitely turn up on your radar because it comes with a good display, a decent camera. I mean, most of the times if you're taking like day and night shots, this phone will serve you really well. Other than that, if you guys have any questions on the Redmi Note 8 Pro, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Check out my Instagram account at Lim Reviews because I upload a lot of cool shit over there. And I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Bye! Shh.